What's going on? Hello, friends. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about gas. So I made a list, short list, and on this list are different gas stations, oil companies that provide top tier gasoline. So let's start by addressing what top tier gasoline is. Now, from my research, not all gas is the same. You got your regular gas, standard gas. You pull up to the pump, put the nozzle in, pay for it, go about your business. Well, in the process of burning that gas, the gasoline itself has very little detergent or what you would call cleaning agents to keep that engine running like it should. Unfortunately, there's no crime being committed except to the consumer, because that subpar gas is allowing carbon buildup in the engine, specifically your valves, pistons. Where top tier gas comes in, it has extra cleaner. Basically, it's your extra strength version of gasoline. They have to manufacture this gasoline at a higher standard, but not all companies do this. So it's a green symbol, like little swirls. You'll know it when you see it when you pull up to the gas pump and it says top tier and it's in green. That's top tier gas station. Now, the reason why I bring this up, because as you know, my vehicle is now 10 years old, and I wanted to see if I could bring up the fuel mileage. Now, I did it once before just to test the additive. I believe it was Seafoam. So I switched gas from 87 to 88 octane. That brought up my MPG a little bit. Then on the next fill up, I added a can of Seafoam. That brought it up a little bit more. Then through the course of using the 88 gas and doing my regular tune-up and changing my oil, it went up even more. I got it as high as 20. Now, this was only maybe a year, 2 years ago. So the car was pretty old as far as mileage goes. Now, like most people, I got it back up. I left it alone. I figured, okay, I'm good. But as long as you burning fuel, the engine is going to produce carbon buildup. Newer engines can go longer. They have higher tolerances. Older engines can go longer, but you have to either use top tier gas or a fuel additive. Some people say Gumout is best. Some people say B12 is best. But in the end, you're going to do better with the top tier. Now, I'm not saying you got to go get the top tier gas, but in the event that you should decide that you want to invest in this, I've made a list based on, like I said, I've Googled different gas stations, and some of them might surprise you. Some of them might not, but some of them might surprise you. So, the one gas station that I've seen the most in my area is Citgo. That's I think it's like a reddish orange with a triangle on it. Then there's Marathon. I've always seen Marathon gas stations, the blue and white, but I've never really. Marathon was one of those gas stations I just kind of passed by, you know. Then you have the Mobil, which everybody's familiar with. Mobil gas. Mobil also makes oil, Mobil One oil. Then there's BP, which is another top tier gas station. A little expensive for my taste, but that's what it is. Exxon. Now, in my area, there are Exxon gas stations and there are Mobil gas stations. Either way, Exxon, as of right now, Exxon owns Mobil. So it's the same gas. If you go to Exxon, if you go to Mobil, it's the same gas. Both of them are top tier gas stations. Then you have Phillips 66, which I remember seeing that as a little kid, but you don't really have a lot of them in one area. They're very spread out. But if you live in the area where there's 2 or 3 Phillips 66, you can always go there and get top tier fuel. Conoco is another one I remember when I was younger. It's not a lot of those around. And of course, Shell. Shell is a top tier, always has been. I know of one Shell gas station in my area. I looked on a map and evidently there's 2 more, but it's not that easy to get to. Good driving distance away from me. And there are two companies that I found that sell gas, top tier gas. These 2 companies are Costco and Myers. That's right, Costco and Myers, not Sam's Club. Sam's Club might have good gas, but as far as a top tier, they are not on the list. You can Google top tier gas stations and it'll give you lists. As a matter of fact, BP just recently made the list, which I don't understand why they would not join this consortium of top tier gas stations. That just made no sense to me. So Anybody that has a Costco membership, you can use Costco gas and you should be good. Now, that being said, if you want a little extra something in your gas tank, use the top tier gas with a fuel additive. The ones that I find that actually work are the Tektron, Gumout, Berry's B12, and I think there's one other one. I can't think of the name right now. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, B12, Gumout, and Tektron. Those I know work. Now, I did mention earlier the Seafoam. That's what it was. Seafoam. However, you have to use these religiously every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, or what I plan to do for my personal vehicle is to add one after my my oil change. So you get your oil change, you go get that next fill up, pour it in there, or you might want to do it right before your oil change. You know you got an oil change coming up next week, then go ahead, fill your tank if it's time to fill up. Make sure you get that bottle of fuel additives, pour that in there first, then pour your gas on top of it, let it mix, and off you go. So, out of these gas stations that I just talked about, I've tried the Citgo, I've tried Exxon, Myers, Mobil, and I've tried Shell. They all have had an effect on my gas mileage to different degrees. And I think that's because something about the base gas that they use is the same, but each station, each company has a different level of detergents, which is interesting. But like I said, all of these places have better fuel than other gas stations. You will be able to tell the difference when you pull up to the gas pump and you look at that pump and it says top tier in green. It'll be in green. If it says top tier in blue, that's usually diesel. So unless you have a diesel engine, no. Top tier, green label. Now you might ask, okay, well, that's all fine and well, but what about the type of car? Does it matter what type of vehicle I have? Good question. So, top tier gas is recommended by Ford, GM, Fiat Chrysler, Honda, Toyota, VW. There are more on this list. However, these are the companies to which I have seen people purchase cars from. These are the cars represented by customers. I know people with Fords. As a matter of fact, I know somebody with a Ford Focus. I know a couple of co-workers with Hondas. I used to have a Toyota myself, and Toyota engines are very good. Very good. If you take care of them, they'll run forever. Of course, I currently drive a GM product, and Fayette Chrysler is Chrysler Dodge and Volkswagen. So you can use either one of these companies to fill your tank, and you should be good. But as I said, as an extra benefit, you can use an additive along with the fuel. Now, if you don't feel like you want to go that extra mile, you can still use the regular gas at the regular gas station that you've been going to, and just, every oil change, add a fuel additive in there. If you like Seafoam, get Seafoam. I personally would recommend the Techron Gum Out and the B12, but now, in addition to that, let me tell you, always pay attention to how many tank fills that it will that you can use it with. Some of them, like I know Techron says it will treat up to 15 gallons of gas. I have a 16-gallon gas tank, so I'm not really worried about 1 gallon. I believe Gum Out is 18 to 21. I'm not sure about the B12. Seafoam is also around 15, 16 gallons. But like I said, the choice is up to you. How you want to configure, how you want to schedule. But at least you have the information. So, that being said, good driving, and I will talk to you later.